am your host of Miss J's Unfiltered Talk Show and Podcast. This is a pre-recorded episode. This is my first time in 6 years using this software I ever pre-recorded anything. So y'all let me know if y'all like me seeing Miss J live or do y'all like the pre-recorded ones, okay? Let me know. But anyway, let me get started. Again, thank you. If you took the time to click and watch me, I appreciate that. PTSD is my episode for tonight. And let me say this, my disclaimer, I am not no nurse, no doctor, anything like that. I'm just your talk show host. I love bringing information, education information, all of that, all right? If you are experiencing any type of difficulties, please contact your doctor, all right? Thank you. All this is for education and information purposes only. So when we talk about PTSD, what is PTSD? What is PTSD? First off, it's a mental health condition and it's caused by a traumatic event that a person goes through. It could be a SA assault. It could be if you've been in the military. It could be if you've been in a terrible traffic accident. It could be child abuse. Even it could be if someone witnessed something very traumatic, or was given some traumatic information about someone they love. That can bring on PTSD. All right, but this can happen either being part, like I stated, you witnessing something. All right, so even though we know and we've heard about PTSD, there are also a couple stages of them. Okay. Now I'm gonna give it's 8 stages. I'm gonna give you 5 of them real quick. Now, the 5 stages of PTSD. Stage 1 is denial. Stage 1 is the impact or the emergency stage when it just happened. That's stage 1. And this occurs immediately after the trauma that has occurred to the person. All right. And the individual's mind and body struggle to cope with the overwhelming experience. They go into shock. Y'all heard people say she's in shock or he's in shock. Y'all heard people say that. You hear people say that. Or they start having anxiety or even fear start coming over them. All right. That's stage 1, impact or emergency stage when it first happened. Stage 2 is denial or the numbing stage. Now, this stage is characterized by a range of different kind of psychological feelings going on. Such as they develop psychological mechanisms that serve as a protective buffer for them. All right. Example, they have difficulty concentrating, or they be a lot of avoidance. They be trying to avoid a lot of things, avoid from going over a particular area. Okay. That's the numbing and denial stage. All right. Stage 3, repetitive or intrusive stage. Now, this phase is characterized by the frequent or distressing intrusion of traumatic memories. When they have traumatic memories. Now, that's also leading to a sense of reliving the event repeatedly. They are constantly reliving it in their head, constantly. That's stage 3, repetitive or intrusive stage, when it's constantly being played in their mind. What they seen, what they was told, what they heard, what happened to them. Repetitive stage. All right. That's going to be having flashbacks or nightmares. All right. That's a repetitive stage. Stage 4. Now, this is the short-term recovery or intermediate stage. But this phase is characterized by a gradual process of emotional and cognitive integration. Let me get you some water. Sorry. It is characterized by a gradual process of emotional and cognitive integration, such as the individual will begin to acknowledge the traumatic event and its impact on their lives while developing mechanisms to manage their symptoms. They'll start acknowledging the event, but now they come up with ways that they can manage their symptoms, and the way they can increases their awareness of their emotions or acknowledgement of the traumatic event, and or acknowledging to you what happened to them. Okay, this is the way of them coping with it now. Recovery. They try to recover now. This is the way of them coping with it now. Okay. And stage 5, long-term reconstruction or recovery stage. Now, this is marking a significant turning point in the healing journey. This is where they want to heal now. And they often enter long-term recovery stages, recovery processes they got to go through, recovery therapies they got to go through. They're trying to heal now. This is their healing stage, stage 5, long-term reconstruction or recovery stage. They ready to heal now, y'all, and they ready to recover from their PTSD. They entering into facilities. Some people go into facilities for help. As I stated before, sometimes people go into facilities for help. That again, that's stage 5, the long-term reconstruction or recovery stage. They ready to heal. They're ready to heal. And again, if you are experiencing any type of PTSD or been through something of that nature, or you might think you are, please, go talk with your therapist, find a therapist, or it's a 1-800 number that just scrolling past that you can call. Okay, 24-hour hotline. Please make sure you do that. And this PTSD is no joke. This is and it's sad because I know somebody that has it. And I'm so glad they finally, after 3 or 4 years, finally decided to start coming out more. Because at one time they just stayed in the house all the time. Well, I mean, they'll take the trash out, something like that, and run to the store. But to go out, to go to the park, to go to the movies, to go to the grocery store. You see what I'm saying? They finally start doing that. And I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud. But you know what they had to do? They had to do that stage 5, go into long-term recovery. Mm-hmm. So PTSD, now when y'all know when I do stuff like this, I always like to look at the statistics, right? So let's look at the PTSD statistic for USA. So this is according to the National Center for PTSD. The lifetime prevalence of post-traumatic stress disorder in the United States is estimated to be 6%. This means about 6 out of every 100 people in the U.S. will experience PTSD at some point in their lives. Now, according to this National Center for PTSD, around 70% of people globally will experience a potential traumatic event during their lifetime. But only a majority, 5.6%, will go on to develop PTSD behind their traumatic event. According to the National Center for PTSD, they also stated that an estimate of 3.9% of the world population has experienced PTSD at some point. At some point, 3.9% of the world globally population has experienced some form of PTSD, some form of it. So again, I was mentioning the prevalence. The prevalence of PTSD, that's going to vary depending on the factors, all right? But what's important to understand that these are just estimates, all right, from the National Center for PTSD. The actual prevalence of PTSD may vary depending on the study and the methodology that the way they use to get the study, okay? But this is what I found. The prevalence, it depends on these factors right here. Your gender. But did you know women are more likely to develop PTSD more than men? Think about that. Think about that. Military service, most definitely. Veterans are at the higher risk of developing PTSD. The type of traumatic event. exposure to violent events such as war or sexual assault, or witnessing I mentioned that earlier, witnessing a traumatic event is more likely to lead to PTSD. Just witnessing something tragic, just seeing. Let me share a story with y'all real quick. And it just came. I just had a light bulb. Years ago, me and my husband on the way to New York. Gonna bring it to what I'm talking about, and it was like something out of a movie. It was an accident on the Jersey Turnpike, but what I saw was the car up in the air, come in the air, and came back down and flipped over. Why I'm saying this? Because it just dawned on me. Do y'all know a couple of months ago, I had that vision in my head again for some reason? Wow. I thought about that. Maybe it's PTSD. I don't know. I saw that car up in the air like it was in a movie, and it hit and it rolled over. And I thought about that situation the whole while I was in New York. I don't know, but I had wanted to share that with y'all. Maybe there's some form of PTSD. I don't know what y'all think. But yes, veterans are the highest risk of developing PTSD. And again, if you see a traumatic event, that can or may cause you to have PTSD. All right. Now, still among the prevalence, the annual prevalence of PTSD is 6% of adults in the U.S. experience PTSD in any given year. And the veterans is about 15% of veterans who serve in Iraq, Afghanistan, or the war have PTSD. Women, the lifetime prevalence of PTSD is around 10% for women, compared to 4% in men. Compared to 4% in men. Children, yes, children. Check on your kids, y'all. Children, the lifetime prevalence of PTSD is estimated to be around 2.3% for children. Now, this is from the National Center for PTSD. Okay, that's where these statistics are coming from. Now, of course, it's here, but we have treatment for it. There is treatment for PTSD. Y'all know I'm always trying to find some type of help, some type of resolution. It's treatment, and it depends. It's the treatment for PTSD being the primary recommendation on doing research. The most effective one that is always recommended is psychotherapy, better known as talk therapy. That's the best one they will always recommend out of all of the therapies. Psychotherapy, better known as talk therapy, is always the best one, and it's stated the most effective one. And of course, they give you medication for antidepressants and all. But who wants to be on meds? Who wants to excuse me? Who wants to be on meds? Really? Who wants to be on meds? But that's what they do. They give you medication and antidepressants for symptoms like your anxiety or depression. I get it. I understand. Some people need it. There's some people don't. But that psychotherapy, talk therapy, is the number one most effective treatment. Y'all remember that. Thank y'all for watching to my pre-recorded. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Having PTSD does not mean you're crazy. That means you've been through something that you just can't shake off. Have sympathy for them and try to ask them, can you help? Ask them, especially if you know the person, your neighbor, whatever, you know them, and you know this is what's going on with them. Reach out to them and ask them, look, because I know the things that you're dealing with. Let me know if you need a ride, to your therapist, or to the VA, whatever. I take you there. Offer help. Don't criticize a person that's going through this, because it's no joke. Our war veterans. Oh my gosh! Imagine what they're going through every time they hear about a car backfire. I mean, just keep it 100. Imagine what they're going through. PTSD. Hearing a car backfire, they're thinking they're in a war again. Offer help. And if you are experiencing any type of issues going on, but you haven't been seen, as I stated earlier, please do. Please talk with your doctor. Go ahead on and bring it up. That don't mean you're crazy. No. What you're doing, you strong, you're showing the strength that you do have in you to go get help. You showing the strength that you do have in you because you are going and get help. Instead of letting it fester in you and it really get out of hand. To the point where, but y'all know how folks going around here doing stuff, shooting up malls and stuff. You don't know what that person been dealing with. I'm just saying. They might have never got help. But you're not crazy. Just because you're dealing with PTSD. You're not crazy. At all. So, didn't I tell y'all I won't go hold y'all long? Didn't I tell y'all that? It's on a beautiful Sunday evening. And it's after 7 o'clock. But anyway, so in closing, let me say this. It is really important to note that these are not rigid categories, okay? And the experience of PTSD can vary widely from person to person. From person to person. And again, if you are experiencing any PTSD, please seek help from your doctor or contact the PTSD 24-hour hotline. Here's the phone number, and it's scrolling at the bottom. 1-800-950-6242. I'm going to say that again. This is the PTSD National 24-hour hotline. 1-800-950-6264. Reach out to them. Get started on your healing journey. Because you can come back to being you. You can do that, but you got to get help. And you can't, and don't be walking around here feeling that something is like you lost your mind. No. You can come back to you. You can come back to you, but you got to get help. And if y'all know somebody that's dealing with this, go to them. Ask them. Offer them that you'll go with them. You'll go with them to get help. If it's a family member, you'll go with them. If you got a husband that's been in the military and you know they're dealing with PTSD, have this conversation with them. Have this conversation, because I can guarantee you, once your husband or your brother or your sister or your uncle that can't about a hard to seem to get along with, like he's been in the military or whatever, or they know some situation that happened to him in childhood, I can guarantee you, once he or she get on the right track and go start getting help, y'all gonna want to be around that man or that woman all the time, because it's gonna be like a whole 360. Going and get help and going to therapy, it helps y'all. It helps. It helps going and talk and vent, get it out for a person that you don't know. See, because you say that to somebody, you know, they might be going telling your business. Oh, you just bitten again. But just go and get help. Go and seek help. Call that national hotline. And I'm going to say it again. 1-800-950-6264. That is the worldwide national 24-hour PTSD hotline that you can call, okay, when you need help. You need somebody to talk to, regardless what time it is. Reach out to them, all right? Now, with that being said, thank y'all for being in here. Told y'all I won't go hold you long. We're going to go in the house and eat now. They'll be waiting on me to come on in the house now. Thank y'all for clicking on my pre-recorded episode to watch. Let me know how y'all like the pre-recorded one. All right, in the comments. Y'all, I asked y'all earlier, do you think you'd rather have Miss J pre-recorded, or you think you'd rather have your queen live? Y'all let me know. But anyway, I'm out of here. I love y'all. Y'all have a good one.